It's 10 p.m. The Hartford Healthcare Cancer Institute brings the highest level of care and more clinical trials to you and your community.
Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Sanitizer in milk. The alert coming from a Connecticut company after kids became sick. The safety warning tonight. And the man who called the Sandy Hook tragedy a hoax set to appear in a Connecticut courtroom. The new developments surrounding Alex Jones and the lawsuit he's facing from Sandy Hook families. Could this be another page in the Huskies history book? The road to the championship as the UConn women get set for the Final Four. The news at 10 starts right now.
But we begin with a weather alert in Connecticut. A wet night tonight as we track rain coming through the state. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 10. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein, looking live at radar conditions, scanning the state. Some of you might hear a rumble of thunder or two as we're tracking the potential for some stronger storms. Chief
Meteorologist Rachel Frank kicking us off tonight with a busy forecast. Hi, Rach.
Very active out there, warm, wet, and windy. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for just a sliver of Fairfield County for the storm that is moving in right now. So let's get a closer look at that. The biggest threat with any of the thunderstorms that move through today are going to be some heavy rainfall and some strong gusty winds. There is a little bit of thunder in here, although we're not seeing too much of that. Not a big lightning producer. This is just moving into Danbury right now. And this whole line is just flying to the east at 55, even 60 miles per hour. That would put it into Newtown at about 10-11, into Waterbury at 10-20, and Meriden, if it continues at the same speed and direction, at about 10-36. No warning here. This is still pretty nasty in Litchfield County as it's moving into Heartland and northwestern Hartford County. Again, this line is just absolutely flying. It should be in Hartford in about a half an hour or so. Simsbury a little bit less than that at about 10-14. We also have these little downpours that are kind of bubbling up out ahead of the main line. Again, these are not producing damaging winds, but just enough that you're probably hearing all of the trees swaying outside, maybe the windows rattling a little bit. Wallingford up through Hartford, seeing some of those showers right now. Both Ben and Jen, when they came into the newsroom a little bit earlier, were saying, oh my gosh, it's pouring outside. And you can see some in northeastern Connecticut as well. So this line will continue to push east from now through about midnight tonight. And we'll see the heaviest rain until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. In the meantime, we have these winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour and occasionally even a bit higher than that. So far, there's not too many outages, under 2,000 the last I checked. And as we head towards daybreak, the chance for a lingering scattered shower, but most of Friday is dry. We'll show it to you, your full forecast coming up.
Stormy night out there, Rachel. Thank you very much. And our team will keep you updated and informed throughout this weather alert. Remember, you can get the very latest information wherever you are just by downloading the free Fox 61 News app for your smartphone or your mobile device.
We have a consumer alert for you tonight. A Connecticut company at the center of a reported milk contamination. The State Department of Agriculture says that preschool students in New Jersey got sick after drinking milk that was made at Guida's Dairy in New Britain. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joining us now to explain what was found in the milk. Carmen?
Ben, the Department of Agriculture says the milk were contaminated with diluted sanitizer and a chemical smell is associated with the product. It affects the 1% low-fat half-pint milk cartons with a sell-by date of April 11th. And now they're urging all customers to dump out the bad milk as a precaution.
There was something that went terribly wrong in the manufacturing process of this milk.
Dan Keeshing, Camden County's Director of Public Affairs in New Jersey, reacting to the 31 preschool students and a teacher who drank the contaminated milk at the Early Childhood Development Child Care Center. That milk coming from here in Connecticut from Guida's Dairy in New Britain. The milk products being sent to schools and child care facilities around New Jersey. Officials say some children reported vomiting, and just across town, 15 additional students at another childhood center were sent to the hospital. All of the students were treated and released from the hospital after they ingested what was identified as periocetic sanitizer.
Based on the hazmat test, it turns out that it tested positive for basically what would be considered a non-toxic digestible sanitizer.
Preliminary investigation reveals officials found the issue was limited to milk within the time range of 4:30 and 7:30 and code stamped on the cartons. Fox 61 reached out to Guida's Dairy for a comment, and in a statement they said in part, quote, "Nothing is more important than the well-being and health of those we serve. Once we were made aware of this issue, we took immediate action and tested impacted product to verify there is no food safety risk associated with this product." The Connecticut Department of Agriculture also has this message for Guida's customers, saying, quote, "Out of an abundance of caution, Guida's Dairy is asking all institutional customers possessing 1% low-fat half-pint milk cartons with a sell-by date of April 11 to dispose of the product. This guidance only applies to institutional customers. The affected product is not available at retail outlets for consumer purchase."
There's supposed to be protections in place that this doesn't happen. So we want to make sure we find out where the failure was and that this never happens again.
Guida's Dairy is cooperating with the Department of Ag regulatory officials. So far, we have not heard of anyone being sick from the contaminated milk here in Connecticut. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
All right, Carmen, thank you. Let's turn tonight to the Fox 61 vaccine team. The push for another booster growing here in Connecticut.
After the FDA and the CDC gave their recommendation for a second booster shot for some adults, Governor Lamont rolled up his sleeve again. The governor received his second booster shot at the Annie Fisher Montessori Magnet School in Hartford tonight. The governor making another encouraging plea to those who may not have gotten vaccinated to do so.
I've had the booster about 5 months ago. This is the second booster. I see some noise going over there in Britain. Why not err on the side of caution and do this again? I feel really good. I'll be safe at least for the next 6 months.
The FDA and CDC recommend adults over the age of 50 get another COVID-19 booster shot. For some adults, that would be their fourth dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Well, Connecticut health officials are continuing to monitor the COVID-19 situation here in our state. According to the Department of Public Health, since Wednesday, the positivity rate has risen a little higher, nearing almost 4%. There were a drop in hospitalizations, though, bringing the total number still being treated down to 88 patients. And there were, sadly, 32 reported deaths related to COVID-19 since last week.
All new at 10 o'clock tonight, the legal saga surrounding Alex Jones continues. The radio host and conspiracy theorist had filed an injunction with the state Supreme Court after a judge ordered Jones be fined for not showing up to his deposition in Texas. Jones missed multiple appearances in court in the lawsuit filed by Sandy Hook families. According to his attorney, Norm Pattis, Jones will not be in court tomorrow for his deposition. Jones had previously cited a medical condition as his reason for not attending court. Those court-ordered fines would begin accruing on a daily basis starting tomorrow.
Well, Danbury police and school officials are investigating after several middle school students got sick this afternoon. The school resource officer at Rogers Park Middle School says that he found an unusual number of students feeling sick and called the school nurse. Police believe the students got sick by eating some chocolate that is believed to contain THC. Police are looking at the chocolate more closely to figure out what is actually inside of it.
Well, new tonight, the city of Stratford is getting millions of dollars from the state to redevelop a piece of history destroyed by a fire. You might remember this scene at the former Shakespeare Theater in Stratford. The iconic building burned to the ground in 2019 when it was intentionally set ablaze by 3 teens. During the State Bond Commission meeting today, lawmakers approved $3 million for the redevelopment of that theater. The city is hoping to use that money and more to reinforce its commitment to the arts.
The road to the championship is upon us, and for the UConn Huskies, the hope is to make it a cool dozen, right? UConn seeking its 12th national championship.
It'll be an incredibly tough test for the Huskies in the Final Four, but they've got support from the state behind them. In fact, Governor Ned Lamont declared this weekend as Husky Weekend in honor of the UConn women. The governor urging everybody to show their Husky pride and cheer our team on to victory.
UConn hit the courts this morning as they get ready to face Stanford in the Final Four, all for a chance to play for the title. Fox 61's Sean Pagano has been with the team from the very beginning. He takes us down memory lane back to the Huskies' first national title.
Well, this is where it all started for the UConn Huskies 27 years ago. The Huskies won their first national championship right here at the Target Center. And when the Huskies tip it off tomorrow night, They will play, you guessed it, Stanford, the same team that they beat in this very game that year. The Huskies and the Cardinal know each other very well. UConn leads the overall series 11-7 and own a 4-1 record in Final Fours against Stanford, who, by the way, is the defending national champ, and are trying to become the first team to repeat as champions since UConn did it in the 4-year span from 2013 to 2016. Gino Auriemma and Stanford's Tara Vanderveer are the two winningest coaches in women's basketball history, and they will meet again Friday.
They play hard, they play together, they play positionless most of the time. They shoot the ball great every year. You know, it's the same Stanford team that I remember 27 years ago playing around here.
Gino likes to, I don't know, kind of get in little battles with people. Maybe it was Pat when Pat was live, or Muffet, but I don't know. I like him, and, I think we get along really well. I've never felt that we were adversaries in a negative way, but more competitors in a very good way.
Tip-off is set for approximately 9:30 Friday night, and we will be with the Huskies every step of the way. One other team note, Dorka Juhas, who got hurt last weekend, had surgery on her wrist on Wednesday. Gino says he expects her to be at the game Friday night. And by the way, she is returning for her final year of collegiate eligibility. She will be with the Huskies again next season. We are with the UConn women at the Final Four in Minneapolis. Sean Pagano, Fox 61 Sports.
Good news, Sean. Thank you. Fox 61 is your home for the road to the championship as the UConn Huskies hope to hoist the title in Minneapolis. Sean Pagano and Tony Terzi will be bringing you all of the action and excitement from the Final Four live in Minneapolis. You can always get the latest on the Huskies on air online and on the Fox 61 News app. And you can also text us to get the latest on the Huskies. Just text the word Huskies to the phone number that's on your screen, 860-527-6161, and we will send you back a link with everything you need to know about the Huskies' run for the title.
And you can expect more on the Huskies coming up on the news at 10:30 tonight. We're taking a look at UConn sophomore star Paige Bueckers. Tony Terzi talks with Paige's high school coach in Minnesota and gets the scoop on Paige's rise to stardom from high school hoops all the way to today. We're also going to be talking about the big new deal for Paige Bueckers and how she's using her new endorsement to make a difference in her home state. Again, that's coming up on the news at 10:30 tonight. Meanwhile, we have much more ahead this hour. A Connecticut town keeping its controversial name. Why Derby officials will be able to continue using its Red Raiders name.
And get ready for the holiday. The gas tax in Connecticut set to be repealed for the next 3 months. What it will mean for you the next time you fill up.
Plus, moose on the loose. People in northeastern Connecticut shocked and stunned to see a moose roaming around their neighborhood. The talk of the town tonight. Great.
In less than 2 minutes, this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fairfield County will expire, but it's still wet and windy out there. A few rumbles of thunder, too. We'll time out when this moves out and talk about what looks like a 50-50 weekend now coming up.